Hey, welcome back to the garage. Today we're going to work on the instrument cluster out of my Yukon. This is a 2005 model Yukon. It's the second generation of these. Should be the same or real similar for the Silverados, Tahoes, Sierras, anything like that. But these instrument clusters, while they look nice, they tend to have a few issues. You can send them off and get them rebuilt, but you can also take them apart and do some stuff yourself. So the first step is to be able to get that out of the dashboard. Okay, first step, working with anything electronic, disconnect your negative battery cable. Got that done, so we're back inside the truck now. I'm going to tilt the wheel down. It's pretty easy to get this cluster out of there. This housing, this faceplate, just pops loose. Gently pull it straight out all the way across. Pull it back and it comes up and out. Now I've got a couple of wires right here I've got to disconnect. Now this is a switch I've added down here because I'm converted it to floor shift. That's just for my tow mode that used to be on the end of the automatic shifter. You won't have that, so okay, we can just set this out of the way. And that opens the whole area up there. You've got a screw on each side, top and bottom. Take those four out. So once the screws are out, you take hold of the cluster, pull it towards you, tilt it up, reach behind it, and there is one wire clip at the top. It's got a tab on top and bottom. You squeeze them together and then pull it out. And then you can swing it on out and come out with it. Here's the wire connector. You just grab it like this and squeeze it together. See how it's lifting that clip? And then pull it out. Okay, we're down in the little electronics lab so we can work on this. First thing we got to do is get this top cover off, and it is held on by four little clips like this. The problem on this one is looks like 3 of the 4 are broke off, which is not a big deal since, as you can see, it sandwiches together when it's screwed in place, so not a problem. I'll just pop this last one loose and we'll take this top off. Like most car electronics and plastic, it gets a little crunchy with age and heat. Lift that up. That one off. And this piece is ready to come off. Next up, we got to pull all the needles off, unfortunately. That's a little bit fiddly, but make sure everything is at its lowest setting so you'll know where to push them back on. Gently grab on both sides, pull them straight up. And as you pull them off, make sure not to turn the little motor there. It's down in the hole, but try to keep it straight as you pull it up off there. Fortunately, they're not hard to get off. Line it at 0. You can probably slide some kind of tool under there and pop them off, but I've always found it's not too bad to just use your fingers and pull them off there. Next up, we'll take the overlay off. It's just kind of snapped on these posts, and it's off. Next up is this plastic diffuser piece. And it just lifts up out of there. Plunger here for your reset knob. Just lift it up, set it aside, and that gets you this far down into it. You can see the little light bulbs that illuminate everything. If you've got any of those burn out, now would be the time to replace them. And all these are your stepper motors for your gauges. And if your gauges have went out, a lot of times it's stepper motors. You can buy a whole kit of stepper motors. And we'll take the backside off, and then you can just solder those back in. You can get the stepper motors off eBay or Amazon or whatever. And down in here, these pieces are surface mount resistors. And they are really bad about the solder on the ends of them cracking. And a lot of times that will make your display go out, everything look dim possibly. Same thing happens on the like the climate control on the C5 Corvettes. So now we need to take it apart far enough to get to the back side of the circuit board. And everything is below the surface of this, so we'll take it, set it over like this. And once again, we have clips going around, and the ones on the back side look to be all on there. What I'm going to do is stick a screwdriver gently in between these two, give it a little twist, and then start popping these tabs out. There's the back side. Now if you just push it a little bit in the opposite direction, you can get those two off. And then back with the pick again. The last two comes. And this piece comes off, and you're to the back of the circuit board. Well, I messed up there for a minute and forgot to turn the camera back on. The only thing I did was I was explaining why I had taken this instrument cluster apart. This cluster was new to me. I bought it because it had the transmission temperature gauge in it where my other one didn't. But I had to do some work to it because I have deleted the ABS and the airbag system. So there were 3 idiot lights that I needed to take off the circuit board, and they were surface mount LEDs. So all you missed was I laid the overlay on there, figured out which ones I needed to take out, and marked them. And now we can get back to the video. So I've marked those LEDs with the Sharpie so I don't accidentally take out the wrong ones, but I want to pull that one there, and that one right there. Now the guys that do this for a living know how to reprogram them to where you could set the mileage back to what the vehicle has. I don't know how to do that. And I'm not too worried about it. That Yukon's got over 300,000 miles, so it's like, I don't care anymore. I'll just subtract the mileage that it's got from what this one says, and then I'll know to add that much to it in the future. As long as I got something I know when to change the oil. Okay, those lights are surface mount, just like those resistors I was talking about. So I don't need to go through to the back side. So basically all we have to do is hit each side of the light with the soldering iron, pop it off the circuit board, and we're good. Tin the tip of the soldering iron a little bit. We'll use the pick. Actually, we don't even need the pick. Just push on it with the end of the soldering iron. You dig it in there and it pops right off. There's one LED out of the way. Number 2. And number 3's out there. And removing those idiot lights is just as easy as that. I had to do the same thing on the Corvette's instrument cluster. Of course, it comes apart a little different, but the process of taking those out is the same. Now, a lot of guys will put LEDs in, make it all light up nice, but it works fine the way it is, looks fine. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. It's just a matter of we're ready to put it back together. Line all that up. Set it back down in place. A little bit of dirt down in there, so I'm going to take this out in the garage and blast it off with some compressed air. And we'll set this back in place. Straight down to where all the clips catch. Now we're ready to flip it back over. Next comes this overlay. Drop it back down in the slots. And this piece sets on there. It kind of snaps down on the little post there. Now for, oh crap. Forgot the plunger. Fortunately, you can slip it in just like this. Okay, now we're good. Now we're back to the slightly tricky part, putting the needles back on. I just take them, sight down the top, where it's lined up where it's supposed to be, slip it down over the post, and push straight down. Aim that at 0. Right on. As long as you don't twist it as you're putting it down, everything will be lined up like it's supposed to. 0. There. Those are back on. And that just leaves the faceplate. And if you remember, I've only got one clip holding it. So now, it's ready to go back in the truck. Alright, the unit is back in there. When you hook your battery cable back up, the needles will, all the gauges will zero out, so you can make sure that you've got the needles in the right position. Everything looks good. One thing you could do is, if you wanted to be fancy, you could put 12 volts to it, figure out which pins on the back are your power and ground, put 12 volts to it on the workbench. And I would assume that's what you'd want to do if you were doing this for a living. But me, I'm just careful. Taking the needles off, putting it back, it's never been an issue. So now, turn it on. And there we go. Before I had the idiot lights over there. So I've accomplished what I wanted. Got an instrument cluster with my transmission temperature sensor. Next thing is to get rid of the service tire monitor light. I'll do that in a different video because I've got a part coming to do that. But it's one of those deals. I put new tires and wheels on recently and opted not to put the tire pressure sensors back on. I mean, the Corvette doesn't have them. I check tire pressure a lot. So it wasn't important for me to have those expensive sensors in there. But without them, it gives you that service tire monitor right there on the driver information center. And we'll be getting rid of that shortly. Oh, and another thing on the transmission temperature, I didn't have to reprogram or anything. You plug it in, or I plugged this instrument cluster in. It had the transmission temperature sensor in it, or gauge in it, from the factory, and it works just like it's supposed to. So didn't have to do anything extra on that. So hope that helps somebody. And those surface mount resistors, like I was saying, they lay on there just like those LEDs did. So if you just heat the ends of them with the soldering iron flow, just to touch solder, if they're cracked, not having good connection, that will fix all of them. So it's not a bad idea to go through all of those surface mount resistors and resolder them. Alright, till the next video, thanks for watching.